Hello students, I'm Sneha. Today we are going to discuss on the history of beekeeping, different species of honeybees, caste and sex differentiation in honeybees and duties of honeybees. Uh, let's start with the history of beekeeping. Honeybees and their usefulness are known from prehistoric times, like they have mentioned in the Vedics, Ramayana, Mahabharata, Quran. And if you see deep into that, in Ramayana, beekeeping or the honeybees described as an Madhuban, that means honey forest, which was cultivated by Sugriva. And in Mahabharata, this Madhuban in the present day Mathuran, where Krishna and Radha used to meet. Like this, the beekeeping has been and its usefulness mentioned in epic way. And also, if you see in the modern beekeeping, like rock paintings found in Madhya Pradesh in a Mesolithic era, and which depicts honey collection of Apis dorsata and mellifera. And also, these tamed, that means the domesticated honeybees used in a warfare too. When British attack East Coast, present day the Odisha in 1842 or like that in 1849, at that time of period, the Koda tribe used these tamed bees against them. And also this, if you see the successful beekeeping attempt made in Kerala at the time of in the year 1911, by introducing the hive called Newton by the Newton scientist. Like this, the considerable beekeeping activities started in Travancore, Mysore, and it was explored in the South Indian states and also in the North Indian. And also the All India Beekeepers Association started in 1938, and also the beekeeping research station was established in Punjab in 1945 by ICAR. And also, if you see, even after Indian independence, beekeeping was promoted through various rural development programs. Now let's go to the bee species. So about 20,000 species of bees exist all over. And if you see, among them, 8 to 11 species were recognized, and also the 45 subspecies were reported. And if you see all over, like in India, 5 species of bees that are commercially important for natural honey and bee wax, and also the propolis, royal jelly, pollen, like that. And if you see among that 5 species, all these species belong to the family Apidae. And if you see among these 5 bees, now 4 bees, those are the Apis dorsata, Apis mellifera, Apis cerana, and Apis florea, which belong to the subfamily Epinae. And the other bee, that is Tetragonula iridipenis, that belong to the Melliponinae subfamily. So among these 4 Apis bee species, Apis dorsata is the largest one, and Apis mellifera, which is smaller than the Apis dorsata and bigger than the Apis cerana, and other is a little bee, that is Apis florea, smallest bee among these which is described now. And the other one is Tetragonula, which is a stingless bee. The other 4 which is having the sting. So Apis dorsata, the body which is oblong and the abdomen is yellowish in color. And if you see the Apis mellifera, which is yellowish brown in color, and the black line will be present at the end of each segment. And if you see the Apis cerana, which is having the blackish color, like dark abdomen, and also Apis florea, which is orange reddish in color, and the specular white lines will be observed on the abdomen. And if you see the this Tetragonula, which is for that sting is vestigial, and the body is in orange brownish color, and the head, thorax, and legs are in black color. Okay, now let's discuss on the different bee characters, like how they construct the comb and also the honey yields. So firstly, Apis dorsata. So it's called as a rock bee, in a common name rock bee. Okay, they construct the combs in a exposed environment. They construct the combs on the tree limbs, like tree branches, okay, and also on the walls of bungalow. If you see the size of the comb, it's a 6 feet long and the 3 feet deep, okay. And this bee is a ferocious bee and also vicious bee because it eats a more food, and also if any enemy or else any disturbance to that comb or to the bees, it will sting and it may also lead to the death. And they are not domesticated because they keep on shift like oftenly, and also this is a largest bee among all these bees, as I described in the bee species, and also it yields the honey about 36 kg per hive per year. Okay. Yeah. Now come to the Apis florea species. It's a little bee. So Apis dorsata and Apis florea, that is largest bee and the little bee, which construct the comb in an exposed environment, and also the Apis dorsata, which constructs a big one single vertical comb. Okay, but Apis florea, it also constructs the single comb, but it's a small in size. Okay, this Apis florea construct the comb on bushes, hedges, and also in the buildings, caves, like that. Okay, it is also not rearable because it changes their place frequently. And by this Apis florea, it yields about half a kg of honey per year per hive, and it's the smallest bee. Okay. Okay, now come to the species Apis cerana indica, which is a common name, that is Indian or Asian bee, because it is native to India. Okay, if you see the Apis cerana indica and mellifera, they construct the parallel combs, and also they construct in the darkness. Okay, they prefer the darkness, but the other two, dorsata and florea, they prefer the exposed way, the lightning and everything. Okay, and if you see this cerana indica, it's a bigger than the florea and smaller than Apis mellifera. Okay, and it yields a honey about 5 kg per year per hive. Okay, they are more prone to swarming and absconding because if any disturbances it occurred in the comb or else to the bees, they think that something happened to us, so we have to shift the place and we have to safeguard our colony. So because of that, they swarm and abscond. Okay, coming to the Apis mellifera species, it's called as a common name European bee. Okay, because this bee was introduced from Europe, that is Italy. When the Apis cerana at that past times, it was more prone to diseases and pests, and the population of Apis cerana was decreasing. So at that time, the scientists were studied about this European bee, and it was more adapted to any kind of environment, and so that this European bee was introduced like this, and it same like Apis cerana, it also constructs the parallel combs in darkness. Okay, it is bigger than Indian bee, that is cerana, and smaller than rock bee. And it yields about 35 kg of honey per year per hive. Okay, it is less prone to swarming and absconding. And when you see these two bees, Apis cerana and mellifera, they can be domesticated because they will prefer the darkness and also the parallel combs, but not the florea and dorsata, because they keep on changing the places frequently. Because these domestication was possible after the introduction of Newton hive. Okay, because he studied the length of the combs, length of the comb and width of the comb, and also the how many combs they are constructing, and all the combs length. According to that he has constructed the box. Now coming to the Trigona iridipennis, it's common name called as a drammer bee. Okay, it's also called as a stingless bee. They construct nest in tree hollows or cracks in walls and also in the soil. Okay, if you see the down picture, that is right one, the nest entrance projected in an external tube. Okay, it's a funnel shape like. Okay, and also if you see the top picture, the brood cell are having a spherical opening at the top. Okay, and also honey is stored in the spherical pots and pollen is stored in wax tubes. As I said before, this is stingless bee. Sting is vestigial, and if the colony gets any threats like that, it's going to irritate the enemy. Okay, like it's going to the nose and also ears and also hair like that, and it yields honey about 100 grams per year per hive, and it can be domesticated. Okay, now let's discuss on the honeybee caste and sex differentiation. Okay, if you see the colony, it consists of a single queen and the drones, which are males, about few hundreds will be present, and workers, these are sterile females, several thousands will be present. Okay, if you see the upper picture, the three bees are there. The right the one right is a queen. Okay, the middle one is a male drone, and the last one is the left one. The left side, the last one is a worker, which is smallest. Okay, the queen, which is having the golden orangish color abdomen, it brightens, and also it's longer than the worker and male. Okay, and if you see the male, which is having the blunt abdomen. Okay, blunt abdomen, and which is fattiest than queen and the worker. Okay, worker, which is smallest than these two. And if you see the further sex differentiation, after egg, if it is the egg is fertilized, then it develops into the worker and queen. Okay, and if it is unfertilized, it develops into a male, which is getting the one set of chromosomes, that is haploid. Okay, and further differentiation in worker and honeybees, worker and queen, it depends on the amount of food they are getting. Okay, I'll explain in the next slide. When you see this slide, we can further differentiate the worker and queen. Okay, after laying of egg by the queen, the workers, if they want to develop the particular egg or particular cell as a queen, they will feed this cell or egg with royal jelly for 5 days. Okay, if they want to develop that particular egg as a worker, they feed only for 3 days, and again they will give honey, and ultimately the cell will be developed into worker. This might be also the reason which higher nutrition was given to the queen development than the worker. Okay, if you see the life cycle of caste of honeybees, the egg and larval stages are same for all the bees. Okay, that is, egg stage will be completed in 3 days and the larval stage will be completed in 9 days. But if you see the queen bee in the pupal stage, it completes in 10 to 15 days, and on the 16th day it will be coming out. Okay, coming out from the cell. If you see the worker bee, the pupal stage will be completed in 10 to 20 days, and the adult will be coming out from the cell on 21 days. Okay, and if you see the same like worker bee, the drone also, the pupal stage will be completed in 10 to 23 days, and on the 24th day it will be coming out. Okay, the same, the queen will be first coming out, then worker, then drone. Okay, now let's discuss on the duties of honeybees. First, coming to the queen, 5 to 10 days after its emergence, she mates with the drone in 1 or 2 nuptial flights until her spermatheca fills with the sperm. Okay, then after that she immediately starts laying eggs. Okay, she lives for 3 years and lays up to 2000 eggs per day. Okay, there is a substance which is released from the mandibular glands of queen called queen substances, which prevents swarming and absconding. That means that maintains the colony cohesion, and also it prevents development of ovary in workers. This might be also the reason the worker is sterile. Okay. Yeah, it can also lay fertilized and sterile eggs depending on the environment. And coming to the drone, it just fertilizes the queen and helps in maintaining the hive temperature. Okay. Now coming to the worker, see how systematically they divide the work. Okay. See, after emergence of the worker bee, in first 2 days, they clean up the cell and also the box and everything, whatever the material, dust and everything, they will clean and they will throw it out. Okay. And also it keeps the brood warm. Okay. After that, in 3 to 5 days, after emergence, feeds the older larva. Whatever the forager bees they are collecting the pollen and nectar, they'll take from them and they will feed the older larva. And after that 6 to 11 days, they feed the younger larva. And in 12 to 17 days, they produce wax from the wax glands present on the downside of the abdomen, and also build the comb and carries food. In 7 to 21 days, they guard the hive at the entrance. Okay. And in after that, from 22 day onwards until its death, they forage outside for the pollen and nectar, and they collect it and they store in the comb. Okay.